Hello everyone. This is the group of four people. We are presenting here stock portfolio suggestion engine, which is done under Professor Richard Sin. So the group members here are Jason, Vishal, Anjali, and Abhishek. So let's start from the system architecture now. We have used React JSON here for the front end development, and the package which we have used to make it, we have just shown it here. And Python has been used for the backend where the deployment has done with the Flask. And this is the features of our project. So stock suggestion. So this is the stock suggestion based on investment strategy and investment amount. The engine provides details of this engine provides the details of number of stocks, portfolio diversity ratio, and holding the value. So the input of a value from the user as well as the selection of investment strategies. For investment strategies, users are allowed to choose either one singular strategies or the primary and secondary both. So we have both demonstrated here. We will show in the demo. Uh, and there is one more feature here, which is like if the user chooses a primary and secondary strategy in the distribution of investment funds, so that are 60 ratio 40, which is 60% going towards the primary strategy and the 40% will go towards the secondary one. And we are also showing the weekly trend here for the total portfolio and the individual stocks. Some extra features are also here, which is like we have done the basic authorization for the secure sign up and sign in functionalities. If the user doesn't have an account, user is not allowed to sign up and go to the dashboard page. User are also not allowed to access functionality without first logging in. So any user who is trying to see the dashboard page has to be logged in first. And we have the real-time ticker with the latest price of the various stocks which we are showing. Yeah, and these are the challenges like while developing this app. So there are a few challenges came up on our way, which is like we were trying to understand how the stock market works and the for the various stock investment strategies. We have also come up with a distribution engine managing the large amount of data from the Y Finance API, which was new to us, and how to transform into the usable data. And through this app, we have learned how to create a backend API with the Flask, and we have also learned and came to know like how developing the algorithm of the distribution of the money in a stock based on the number of stocks. And we were trying to make some simple UI which is as clean as serve the purpose. So here are the test cases. As stated, we have written the 10 test cases here, which will show all the features and functionality of the app. Yeah, we also have the future scope. Later, if we want, we can extend this application to the mobile app, which can be used by any user on their own mobile device. We can add some more live dashboards for the user portfolio, which would update the real time. And we can also save the user investments strategy and suggest more stocks on their next visit. Like, yeah.
Hello, and coming on to the demonstration, so we'll just see how we can start up our application. So we are first gonna start the backend server created using Python. So you can see that we are working on a development server here, and from here uh, we are gonna start the front end using npm start, and this will start up the React script and open up our web page. So this takes us to our web page, which is also the login page, and you can see that we are hosting our web page on the local host. So coming on to the first test case, wherein the user logs in with a valid username and password. So we have already created one username and password, so we'll try and log in using that. you can see that it actually takes us back to our dashboard. So this is the first test case. And coming on to the second test case, wherein we enter an invalid username and password. So let's just say I'm giving a random username and password. And you can see that we get an error prompt saying the credentials did not match. So coming on to the third test case, wherein we leave both our username and password field empty. And this will again prompt the same error message that the credentials did not match, and will prompt the user to re-enter the username and password. So our fourth test case is for the first time users, wherein you need to sign up fresh. So clicking on sign up at the top left corner of our web page takes us to the sign up page. And here you can see that we need to enter a username and a password. So I'm gonna create a new user and some random password and click on sign me up. So, and it will take me fresh to a dashboard page, which includes the portfolio, the stock graphs, and the stock distribution. As you can see, the stock both are empty as we have not made any selection. So coming on to the selection part, so we can click on selection at the top right corner. And for first, we are going to work on selecting just one investment strategy, which also becomes our primary investment strategy. So we are going to enter an amount as 5,000, select the investment strategy as ethical, and select the secondary strategy as none, and click on submit. So this takes us, creates a portfolio and assigns the stocks accordingly. So you can see that we have 3 stocks here, and Cmpe occupies 52% of the investment amount, and NIO takes up 29%, and SEDG takes up 18%. And we can also have a look at the shares which have been allotted to each of the selected invested stocks. And this part displays the week, the stock graph, which depicts the stock prices for the entire week starting from December 18th until the current date, December 13th. And we can also have a look into the amount which has been invested, the balance, the current investment strategy, and so on. So now this is done. Let us look at another selection strategy wherein we are going to input both the primary as well as the secondary investment strategy. So I'm going to give the same amount, select the primary investment strategy as ethical and the secondary as growth, and click on submit. And you can see the amount invested and the balance as usual, but we can have a look here, say how the entire amount has been divided equally among the 6 stocks. So we have the Cmpe, NIO, and SEDG, which belongs to the ethical investment strategy, growth investment strategy. And also we can see that the ethical strategy occupies about 60% of the entire amount which has been invested, whereas the growth strategy will occupy only 40% of the invested amount. And again, the different stock distributions are shown here. So this happens to be our 6th test case. So our next test case revolves around where the amount which has actually been invested by the user is less than each of the individual stock prices of the particular stock in that category. So let's say I'm going to enter an amount as $100, and we are selecting our investment strategy as quality and clicking on submit. And you can see that the entire amount remains under balance and no amount has been invested. And when we actually take a look into the stocks, we can see that the stock prices for Apple is $175, for Google is $2,900, and for Tesla is almost $1,000, wherein each of these individual stock prices are higher than our investment amount. So our application, what it does is it just puts the entire amount in the balance and does not invest any amount. So Coming on to our eighth test case. So our eighth test case is about displaying the portfolio. Oh, I'm sorry. Our eighth test case is about displaying the portfolio for each of the applications. So, so you can see the stocks invested as usual. Here, this is the like the stock graph part, wherein it shows the stock prices across the entire week, about for different times, and you can see the stock variation here. And so this is about the portfolio that will be created for each investment, wherein it contains the stock graph depicting the stock prices for the entire week, the individual stock distribution, and the respective stock. Yeah, so for test case 9, we are here entering the amount, but the user does not enter or select any of the investment strategies. And so we can see that the submit button doesn't work. So this submit button will remain disabled until the user selects the appropriate investment strategy. And the last test case is for logging out. So you can see that when the user logs out after working on the investments, it will actually take the user back to the login page. And if the user wants to verify again, he can check it by logging in, and it'll again take him back to the dashboard. So yeah, that's it about our demonstration for this project.